Alright, hello third grade. Yesterday we learned about how to identify singular or possessive nouns in a sentence, but today we're going to work on forming the singular or possessive nouns. So remember from what we learned yesterday, and let's go back to yesterday's slide. When a noun is singular and we're trying to make it possessive, and remember possessive nouns, they're going to show ownership. Who or what owns something or they have something. So if it is a singular noun, we're adding an apostrophe S. So Matt is one, so we're just adding apostrophe S at the end. And bird, that's one bird, it's singular, so I'm just adding an apostrophe S. And for our plural possessive nouns, so when it is a plural noun and we want to make it possessive, and it ends in S, then we add just an apostrophe at the end. So we have to look at the noun. So if I want to change the boys into a possessive noun, I see it's already plural and it ends in an S because it's not irregular. So I'm just adding an apostrophe at the end. Same with the schools. So we're talking about more than one schools and it already ends in an S and it's plural. So I'm just adding an apostrophe at the end. But sometimes we run into those irregular nouns that when they turn plural, they don't add an ending. They don't add an S. They change the word. So when I say child and I make it plural to children, we're talking about more than one. But it doesn't end in an S, so I'm going to add apostrophe S for that plural possessive noun. Same with mouse. When mouse changes to plural, they change everything except the first letter and the last letter. It changes to mice. That means more than one mouse. But that plural noun does not end in an S. So I'm going to add an apostrophe S to make it a plural possessive noun. And all of these are showing ownership. Matt's glove. Who owns that glove? It's Matt's glove. It's his. So we're changing the words to show ownership. And when they show ownership, they are possessive nouns. So what our homework is going to look like today is we're going to be taking a word and changing it to the correct possessive. So if I see Sarah, that is the noun they're giving me, and I have to make it a possessive noun, I notice Sarah is singular. Sarah means one. So when that happens, I just add an apostrophe S. Sarah's car. So same here, when I see cat, that's singular and there's no ending, so I'm going to say cat's treats. And I'm going to add an apostrophe S because it's just a singular cat. We're not talking about multiple cats because if we were, it'd say cats right here. But now I get to cousins. Cousins ends in an S and that makes it a plural noun. So now I have to make cousins into a plural possessive noun. But since it already ends in an S, I just add an apostrophe behind the S. Cousin's house. But then we run into these tricky ones. Fisherman. Fisherman means more than one, and I can tell by the ending men, because men means more than one man. So this doesn't end in an S. It's not the typical rule for the plural nouns. So I keep it like my singular possessive, and I add apostrophe S. So fishermen's fishing poles. Even though it goes apostrophe S, it's still a plural possessive noun. I can tell that it's plural by looking at the base over here. But if I see ants, ants ends in an S. And I know that it's a plural noun. So now I have to make it a plural possessive noun. So I'm not going to go ants with A-N-T-S apostrophe S. Instead, I add the apostrophe right after the S. So now we're going to go over some examples that we'll be doing for our homework. So it says type the possessive form of the given noun. So I'm looking at the noun. The first thing I'm going to do is ask, is it plural or possessive? Elves. Elves, we're talking about more than one, and it ends in an S, so I know that it's plural. And since it ends in an S and is plural, I'm going to type in elves and just add the apostrophe at the end because it's plural and ending in an S. It's not that irregular for the ending. It is irregular, but it's not. It's irregular with the S at the end. So if I have cabins, I'm looking at cabins. I have to decide singular or plural. Cabins is plural because it ends in an S like a normal plural noun, And so instead of adding an apostrophe S, I add just an apostrophe at the end. We're not going to add it like this, just an apostrophe at the end. So now I have bowls. Is bowls singular or plural? Bowls is more than one. It's a plural noun, and I know this because of the ending. It ends in an S. It's not one of our irregular nouns. So I'm going to type in bowls and just add an apostrophe after the S. So now when I see mayor, our mayor house, mayor is just talking about one, right? It doesn't end in an S, and it's not one of my irregular nouns. So now I'm going to type in mayor apostrophe S because it doesn't end in an S and it's singular. So then I go like that. So let's do our last one together. So if I see our team fans, team is just one team. It doesn't end in an S. So I'm going to type in team, and it's not one of our irregular plural nouns. So then I go apostrophe S. Alright, and that's it for today. Just make sure you go back and you look at the noun first. Is it singular or is it plural? And then if it is plural, is it irregular or does it have a normal ending like an S? Because if it doesn't have a normal ending like an S and it's an irregular plural, we treat it like our singular possessive nouns, and we're going to add apostrophe S. Alright, thank you and have a good rest of your day.